Amateurs, ladies and gentlemen. I will take the opportunity to invite almost the full cast and crew of Amateurs on stage. Guys and girls, come on stage and give them a warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you the names as well. The director, Gabriela Pichler, ladies and gentlemen. Jonas Hassen, the writer, screenwriter. Frederik Dahl. Yara Alia Dotter.
Hi.
Zara
Hi.
Al-Bujali.
Perfect. Hi.
Yes?
Hi. Congrats.
Good to have you here.
Here, we'll all come in. Hi. Nice to see you. Here,
Are you gonna fit all together on the couch?
Sure, we
Oh,
can.
it's a full couch. Oh,
Yeah.
it's possible. It's
Oh,
possible.
it is.
Oh my God! Did it just crash? Oh no.
We don't
Okay, just don't move anymore. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, I think we have to move off stage. Okay. Now, yeah. Well,
It's an
it's
amateur
live, people.
coach
It's
here.
live.
We can sit here.
Yeah, we can sit here, but maybe are the cameras okay if we sit here on the couch, guys? Yeah, we have to fix it. Well, yeah, let's do that.
Like that.
If you sit here,
Do you
join
wanna go
us.
in
But
front?
I think this part is okay.
Here, you go in front. You're.
Oh my God. Okay, that was a
You go
special
here.
surprise for you guys. Really nice, right? Okay. Well, have a seat.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
This is your first screening outside of Sweden, right?
Yes.
How was it, guys? Because exciting or not?
Yes, very exciting.
Yeah? Nervous?
It's a beautiful place to have this screening on.
Yeah.
As well, so really cool.
If you are watching abroad or people here in Rotterdam, you're very welcome to join the conversation and send us anything, questions or comments. Hashtag live cinema. And of course, the telephone number is still on the screen. I think you can send me a message. I have to get my iPad to risk. I'll risk my life again, and then I'll receive your messages here. Okay, let's start with one question right away, Gabriela, for you. Wojciech from Poland asks, where's Lafourche? Because I can't find it on the map.
Yeah. I always tell people to Google it on Google Maps or something because you're never gonna find it. No, it's an invented village.
Yeah.
I mean, or maybe you can say it's a mixture of different villages or
Yeah.
typical villages for Sweden. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So why didn't you just pick
An actual
little village?
Because it's always hard to do that because you don't want to point a town out and at the same time feel free to tell a fiction story. So I think it's like morally, it's easier to just invent a town and put everything you want in it without hurting people or yeah.
Then there's another question from René as well from Rotterdam, and we have to explain something because he says, "Are the actors all inhabitants of Lafourche?" But the title explains it a little bit, but we have to explain that. Well, you are acting, but you're not real actors in your daily life, right?
That's right.
You're all amateurs. This is the first time you're in a movie. Yeah. That's quite impressive. Gabriela, please explain why you decide, why you've chosen for this for people who are not used to acting. First, maybe you can explain what you're doing in your daily life. What do you do in a daily life?
I go to school.
Yeah.
I work.
And work? Where do you work?
I work as different things. Mostly weddings
Okay.
with my mom.
Yeah.
And I go to school. I study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frederik, you're actually working for a council, right? Is that correct?
Yes, I'm
Not an actor in the daily life.
exactly the same person as on film.
Just you were who you were, who you are.
Or yeah. So my first movie, first time Q&R, and I cracked the scene. So yeah,
Wow.
feels great.
Zara, what do you do on a daily basis?
Well, a lot of things actually, but just to keep it short, I also go to school and will graduate this year.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, Jonas, you're a writer. You're the screenwriter as well, but also you published many books already. You're a famous writer from Sweden. Was it difficult to write a story that is, well, we can discuss that later as well, that's been adjusted during the shooting, actually? How far did you go with writing the story?
Well, actually, it's the project kind of started with me and Gabriela sitting in different kitchens for a few years talking about kind of ideas.
Yeah.
And then we came up with a script, and then I kind of handed the whole the script over to Gabriela, and she took care of making it into a movie.
Yeah.
So I saw the final version first time last night in Gothenburg.
Yeah.
So I was very, very nervous, not really sure why,
Yeah.
because I thought maybe Gabriela had kind of added aliens into it, or like just like tweaked it or something. But I
Yeah.
recognized it, and I was very happy to see it. Like,
Yeah.
So this is the second time I see it.
And you're a writer on a daily basis. That's what you really
That's what
are.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gabriela, why do you choose amateurs to work with?
Well, I always worked like that. And I like to use the term experts because for me, all of them who participated in the film are experts. And for example, Fredrik is an expert at his work. I mean, he works with the same thing that he does in the film, or quite the same thing. So he had a lot of things to come to, like ideas for the script also, or for lines that he could say much better than we could write in some scenes. So they are experts in their own field, and I teach them to act. And I mean, everyone acts in their social life. I mean, you're not the same person with your grandmother as with your best friend when you're drinking on a pub. So I mean, we all act like in different situations and stuff. So we all have acting in us.
Yeah. And how did you choose the actors or the people in the film?
Well, we always start off with having a casting team really early. I mean, really early.
Because you couldn't go to a casting agency and
No.
look through a full database.
No.
of,
That's not the way to do
no.
it. Actually, we used an actress and turned her into a casting director because she had she was used to like going on castings and stuff like that, and being in front of a camera and knowing what is respectful and not in those situations. So, and we wanted to change the whole casting situation to have a friendly kind of meeting, and to have long time to investigate what the people who are coming and
Because not everyone was convinced right away to participate in your
No.
project, right?
no.
Some of the actors didn't want to, actually. Did you all initially said, yes, I want to join the project? Or did you hesitate, or
No hesitation for me.
you wanted it, yeah?
Yeah.
I hesitated
Why?
a little because school, and then I'm an introvert. I don't like people.
You don't like people?
I like people,
all
but
have
like
that
I don't like
sometimes.
new situations. So.
Yeah. I can imagine, yeah. So you thought, it's not something for me to be in front of a camera?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fredrik, did you right away think, hey, this is something for me?
No, of course not. I work in the local
I'm a
government.
star about to be born.
No, no, it was just I told someone that if someone told me a few years ago that I would be having one of the lead roles in a new Gabriela Pichler movie, or I would, work for NASA, I would probably guess NASA, because that would be more likely.
Yeah.
So I was very hesitant.
Yeah. What did you do then? If someone said no, it's not for me.
Well, I think it's natural, because if someone
Because you lured them into your little scheme.
She lied.
I've understood. She lied, right?
Yeah.
She lied. How did you do that?
No, well, sometimes you have to lie, yes, but often you just have to be like, I don't know, convincing that you believe in those people, and you know that they will be perfect in the role. And also, I easily fall in love with, I mean, not romantically, but still, I fall in love with people. And when I met these guys,
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to hang with them, and I wanted to like be their friend and have them as my family. So
Yeah.
I'm like yeah, so this is my chance to just to hang around with people that I like.
With cool people.
Yeah.
What a job, right?
Yeah, I know.
But take us a little bit into your strategy. How do you do it when someone says, no, I'm an introvert. It's not for me being in front of a camera.
Yes, at the same time, because you didn't say what you are studying, this girl studies construction working, and you study like music, yeah. So she's a musician, and I knew musicians have to stand on a stage or have some kind of extrovert side of themselves too, even if you are shy or stuff like that. And
so you saw a chance there.
Yes, because and also I saw their talents immediately. So then you just have to like work really hard to.
Yeah. What kind of music do you make, by the way?
Don't
be shy.
I make the music that my teachers want me to do.
Oh.
No,
okay.
but I produce like...
A little bit hesitant as well.
I produce covers and like a lot of 50s. I make songs into like postmodern kind of
That's what you do at the weddings as well, then?
No.
Making music, or what do you do there?
I make cake.
Oh, you
at
make
weddings.
cake, okay. And the boxing, is the boxing real? Because it looked real.
Yes,
Are you really into boxing in normal life as well?
No, actually I haven't trained boxing.
Oh, okay.
But I liked it. And Maria, the one I was boxing with, she, at my age, kind of younger, she was a Swedish champion. So she was like into boxing and just got me into it throughout the scene.
Yeah, okay.
She's more into parkour and stuff like that, like
it's
jumping.
the jumping.
But I like boxing as well. So if it would be for me, I would do everything, really. But I don't have the time, so.
We get from Lightwell a message on Twitter. Amazing movie, great show of perspectives and the interesting dynamics that come from such. Good concept to get community perspectives in social development. That's from Lightwell. Arie Deelder says here from Rotterdam, even though amateurs don't exist in the world of art, the film Amateurs was wonderful. So that's a compliment to you. And Rafi from Israel says, what is Ida's mother's reaction to the film?
Well, she hasn't watched it yet.
Your real mother, right?
Yes, she hasn't watched it yet. So I also asked that question because I wonder, but I think she will like it.
Yeah, why didn't she watch it yet? Do you know, or
she
the practical reason?
She wasn't able to do it.
Okay.
She had to take care of my other siblings.
Ah, okay. Because there are there's something a little bit confusing in the cast because there are mothers and fathers in the film that are not the fathers in real life, but.
My father.
How is the situation?
My father in the movie is her real father.
Her real father, yeah. And he's here, right?
He's here, but he's somewhere else. Like he's here today,
hiding.
My mother is the one that showed the cakes in the movie, that works with my mother in the movie. So she's the baker in the movie.
And she's here? Hi.
Yeah, she's here.
So she really makes the cakes?
She really makes the cakes. Hello.
Okay. And then?
And then Gabby's
your mother is in the film as well?
Yeah.
She's always in your projects, right? She has to be in every production?
But she's sleeping right now, so I couldn't think.
What is it?
And Frederick's mother in the movie is his real mother.
Yeah. And your mother in real life is doing much better than the mother in the film.
Yes.
Yeah, she's very healthy and everything's okay.
She won't keep quiet at all, so she speaks Swedish all the time.
She keeps chatting.
Yep.
Kiva, our movie critic here tonight, well, a positive critic. What's your take on this theme?
Well, I was watching backstage and hearing all the laughter from the audience was so lovely because there are so many comic, humanistic touches in the film, but at the same time, it's very political as well. And I want to get into that. I think if we show one clip here.
Okej, vad gör du som kommunchef på det här jobbet?
Jag gör så och gör så.
Och med då?
Jag jobbar inte bara här.
Nej.
Jag städer också. Sulforskins, ålderboende och politiken. أقول لك كافي رجعي المسجل بمكانه وخلي ذا نشتغل.
What I love so much about this whole sequence is it really frames the kind of invisible labor that we take for granted and is rarely also shown on screen and given that kind of foregrounding. You know, we take for granted that our paper baskets are empty, that the floors are clean, especially if this has just come after the official town hall meeting as well. And to me, what I'd be curious to hear more about from Jonas and Gabrielle is why was it so important to fold that into the sort of political aspect of the film? Why make the invisible visible? Why did you want to do that?
Well, I think one thing that when we were talking about the script before we actually wrote it, since we wrote it together, one thing that kept coming back were kind of memories of having felt invisible in different sense. Like I was born and raised in Sweden, and I've thought a lot about what it means not to be kind of part of an official myth. You know, there's this. Sweden is kind of interesting when it comes to nationalistic myths because
that's weird that you're looking up at me.
Because Sweden is very much of a, you know, it has this very kind of it's a huge symbol of sorts, and we are being reminded of that when we go abroad also, that we are sitting here as Swedes. Some of you might not think of us as typical Swedes, and it's interesting to try to write about what happens when you're invisible and how you can kind of the girls in the movie, they use their cameras in order to become visible. And I think what you're saying here is interesting, because in this scene is that maybe Ida sees the beauty of her everyday through the lens, you know, that she hasn't seen before. So we were talking about a lot about what happens when you're when it feels like you're not part of something bigger. And I think that's what the girls are trying to do in this film. They're trying to create their own myth, so to speak. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Gabriela, you're also from a family with an immigration background, right? What's the main message here?
In the scene?
Yeah.
Or
well, in the film.
Yeah.
On this matter.
Well, I think I mean I agree with Jonas in this case, but for me it's also an aspect of the working class, because this scene that we saw right now, it's very much something I have experienced, because my mother worked as a cleaning lady in different, like in libraries or in places like that. And I always went with her, and my father, who also cleaned with her in the evenings. So I spent a lot of times in those kind of places, just having nothing to do, because I was an only child. So I was going around and playing these fantasy things, not with a camera. I didn't have a camera, but with other stuff, like either like sneaking into the offices, or like taking small stuff or just steal something. I mean, it could be that too. and so for me, it's also an aspect of the working class and to be visible. Yeah.
About these cultural backgrounds, there's another question from Valerie Klosterman. She says on Twitter, how many different cultures are involved in this movie? And she says, it's remarkable since I don't see Sweden as a country with many different cultures.
Yeah, I know.
Is that a misconception?
Yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, the world is changing, and the world is global, and I mean, people are moving around the earth. So of course it's like that. And Sweden, maybe as a Nordic country or a Scandinavian country, also has made it very important sometimes which images are representing the country, and it's all often blonde and IKEA, and it's the pure nature, like the little film that Lafourche has made, and it's like a high status country, and we are playing golf, everybody here, and so it's that's the theme in our film, I guess, to turn it around and show other images of Sweden.
Lately, it has become almost like another kind of symbol from right-wing voices, it has become the symbol of a country who has been ruined by outsiders. So right now there are kind of two very interesting conflicting myths about the country. One, like kind of liberal myth that says that everything in Sweden is perfect, everyone plays golf and are happy. And then there's kind of this other myth that says that everything is basically hellhole.
This is, of course, a hot topic in the whole of Europe, the integration of people with a migration background. Are you, in a way, optimistic or pessimistic about the development going on, or how is it in Sweden?
Well, I think it's two separate things. What we do in our art, both me and Jonas. I think I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think we both are quite optimistic in our work, but quite pessimistic maybe in
about
our
reality.
real life, or realistic. But it would be so I don't know. It's not a possibility to change the world if you're just being pessimistic in your art as well. So I guess this way of having a humoristic touch to it, or having like a likable people who like, and this kind of warm feeling.
Yeah. There's this a scene in there. It was heart-wrenching for me, Frederick, when you were moved aside as a representative for the council, right?
Yep.
Because of you not being Swedish enough, or Lafourche Swedish enough. Is that something you have in the daily life as well, that experience? Does it happen, or because you in the film you step over it quite easily?
Yeah. I think it's very powerful when my coworker here, Mimi, when she actually says, "But you do work for Lafourche."
Yeah.
When they are telling me that this won't fit our perception, people won't believe that a person like you can work for, and she says, "But you do."
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that it's always been if you have an image of something, you have to enhance that to keep it, right? So of course, I think all of you guys here, if you think about Swedes, you don't think about this lot, right? So that image, of course, comes from somewhere. So yeah.
And you're trying to change that, or do you have a mission in that, or?
Well, I think especially for the rural areas, because I think we need to find a way for the rural part to also have this dynamic. Because usually I told someone that if I go through the streets of Stockholm, or even here in Rotterdam, I hear Arabic, French, English, so many languages, and it feels like this vibrating, interesting, cosmopolitan place.
Yeah.
But when you come to the rural part of Sweden, you have this crisp, untouched, beautiful scenery, and then everything else becomes a threat to that picture. And I think that will kill the rural community if we don't allow that dynamic to grow even in the countryside.
Albert tunes in from Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe, and he says, "Thank you for including the debate about when it's okay or not to film someone naked or without their permission, and why. It strongly resonated here in Harare, and we feel it could be explored further." So that's a comment from Albert. And also from Harare, Peter, he says, "What was the intention of the movie in involving a whole city in this exploration of the community and its pursuit of identity? And what do you think the world can learn from it?" It's a big question, but all the way from Harare, so do you have an answer to that?
Say it once again.
Yeah, actually two questions.
Yeah.
So what was the intention of the movie in involving a whole city as the main subject, as a place? Yeah.
Well, I guess we're also playing with a microcosmos of Sweden. So a small town is it's a very easy way to shrink something into a more, I don't know, more practical thing to tell a story. And also the little 5-minute long film that they are making, the 5-minute long commercial of Lafourche, is also kind of a microcosmos for the images Sweden is like representing to the world about itself. So, and also, who do you want to please with that film? Is it a a financing problem, or is it to get people to live there, or is it a film that should be all about us living there?
Yeah.
So I guess a town is a very practical thing to use as a form of telling a story. Yeah.
Question for the girls. Well, it's a question in general from IFFR, from Tabakalara. My geographical knowledge is not that well, that I don't know where it is, but maybe someone can tell me. And she asks, congratulations for you, Gabriela. Did you give total freedom to the girls? Let's ask the girls, did you get total freedom to film whatever you want?
Well, I guess in a way, because even if we had a script, we could still do it on our own way.
Yeah.
So, and pretty much like sometimes the script could be without lines.
Yeah.
And without something like, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
So then we had to like look around and see what we got and do something out of it.
Well, you're great talents, that's for sure. Are you going to do something more with the acting? I'm asking of course, the three amateurs.
I want to.
You want to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any chance? Because people are going to see the film. Are you being picked up already by casting agencies?
Not already, but I'm hoping.
Yes.
So if anyone out
people,
there
call
wants me
us.
in their movie,
The number is linked below. Yes. Frederick?
Yeah.
Are you cancelling your job at the council already?
Well, I don't know. Of course, it's fantastic. You know, I'm sitting here in Rotterdam. It's amazing to be part of this. And we had the premiere yesterday in Gothenburg, and about 3 o'clock in the morning, I think I hooked up with a lawyer, so I got to represent last night.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. You, any plans or hopes or dreams or?
Of course. And if I see a chance, I take it and I go on that road, because I think it's wonderful that you get the chance to really, like, for me, I played something, it was these people's vision, and to be able to have that, like, it's a really good, it's such an honor, and to just be someone else. I think everyone would, like, benefit from that, because sometimes it's just so annoying to be yourself, really. I can't take that.
Yeah.
So it's then you just let out, like, for example, Ida in the movie.
Yeah.
It's feelings, it's real feelings that she brings out from me that I usually hide and close.
Yeah.
So just that, but
So it's
like,
a little bit like therapy for you as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think it's cool.
We hope that you can continue doing what you did for this film. We're running out of time, unfortunately. Thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the cast and crew of Amateurs. And I'm very sorry about this whole situation here. We're gonna fix this, and we will be back in 2 hours. At 8 o'clock, we have another screening of another beautiful film. And please tune in wherever you're watching. Thank you for sending your questions, and do so again later on today. Thank you, bye-bye.